people want to change, think about themselves, their habits, etc. And often people come for coaching for that very purpose, about how do I change? How do I make things different to how they already are? And that can be a number of different things. It could be putting an exercise or a well-being routine into place. It could be saying yes at work when I really want to say no, or not putting boundaries in place, etc. One of the things that's really interesting about that is, yes, we can come back to the neuroscience of habits, of certain habits that we've built in, habits of thought, habits of behavior, habits of emotion. We can also think about why we might not do things and what's the emotional component behind it. Because one of the things that can often happen is we can get rewarded by a negative. What do I mean by that? Well, let's imagine I'm at work and I don't like what's happening around me. I don't like the way the bosses are doing things, and I whinge and complain. And you, as my colleague, agree with me. That is giving me a reward sensation. So although in theory, I might indicate that I want to change, I want to put new boundaries in place, and I whinge about my workload and it's not possible with global hours to finish on time, and you go, yeah, I know, me too. By you agreeing with me, I'm getting rewarded for that. And we know that there's this element of, I've got 150 emails. Oh, I've got 200. There is an element of a reward sensation around status. I'm busier than you. So again, if we come back to how the brain is wired with sort of threat reward, actually one of the things that can be standing in our way of changing is, are we getting rewarded for negative behaviors? And how do you help your client actually see what might be the reward? Is it that because I say yes when I actually mean no, everybody thinks I'm lovely and I'm so helpful and I'm so kind and I'm so collaborative, that I almost can't possibly say no, because from an emotional level, I am getting a certain level of status, if you like, or reward from being that person. You think well of me. If I think about exercise and getting up in the morning and exercising, and actually I feel too warm and snuggly and I get too much reward from laying in bed, etc., then potentially, unless I can overcome that emotional component, then I'm not going to get myself out of bed and notice the other rewards that can come from that. So think about this for a moment, of why people don't change. And yes, you can put some structures in place, you can put some actions. Yet I'd also like you to think about what's the emotional component behind it. Because if you can get to grips with that and shift that, then potentially people will start making the change by being pulled towards what they do want.